Oh man, another herald.
And welcome back to Drama Time, the pseudo podcast series in which we go over some of your crazy stories, all anonymized, of course. And I'm here joined by the other thirds of the trio, and we'll be looking at some Dharma.
Can I ask something? I think you should say their names for real. I think as a little gag one time, you should put their name and address
instead of like
in the video.
Dante and Beatrice, it'll be like John Edwards at
and let them know, who they're making fun of. Yeah, I think that we need that change.
If you disagree with them, go to their house and kill.
It's really funny because a lot of these people message me from like work emails and stuff, like just like and I've seen like some
we should get them
big
fired.
We
should get people fired for ripping off a kid in a trade when they were 8 years old. Let's get on it.
No.
Are these the type of people you want representing Microsoft Entertainment?
Yeah.
DNC, hit us up. We are going to unload the mother of all Oppo research on the next, 6 generations of Zoomers.
So let's jump into story number 1. I used to regularly attend the locals in the closed forest a long time ago, probably around the mid-5Ds era. This period of Yu-Gi-Oh! Feels very weird looking back. It's so sharky, filled with cheaters and bandits. I used to love my...
Bandits?
You guys have fond memories of the 5... I think Doug's the only one here who played the 5Ds era.
Yeah, there were definitely... honestly, there were a lot of cheaters and bandits around my locals, so... maybe they're onto something.
For anyone who knows what the reputation of Dream Wizards was like pre-COVID, it was the hangout de la banditos, I will say that.
There was stories that I heard from, like, when I started playing from friends who would tell me about the 5Ds era, and they said, like, it was like a standard practice where you would go into locals, and, like, the what is it called? The thing that goes over your shoulder from your backpack, what is that called? The handle? Why is my mind blanking?
The strap?
The strap, yeah. They used to say that you would have to wrap your strap around your ankle as like a standard procedure when you're like just sitting down to duel. Like that was just the norm.
I think that's good YCS protocol, honestly.
Listen, Farfa, if you want, I can teach you a little bit of strap etiquette. I can wrap my strap around.
Okay, all right.
He said, all right.
I used to love my local card shop at the time, but looking back on it, I don't understand why. It was such a toxic environment filled with some genuine bullies and scammers.
Okay, real quick, I hate to stop you again. When it says, I used to love my local card shop at the time, you can say, I used to love my local card shop, or I loved my local card shop at the time. It's weird to say, I used to love my local card shop.
Oh my god, no one
right?
cares. What? Like, shut up.
Can someone insert the meme that's like, when the lady like watches something back that's older and it's like, oh shit, I didn't remember my locals was so racist.
Transphobic.
I didn't remember it was so transphobic.
I don't know if I feel like usually when I am in videos, I'm always watching yours and doing this kind of nitpicking bullshit to you. So I thought I would give you an opportunity to jump in too.
I don't care. It doesn't add to or change the story. Anyway, I remember this one incident where a kid, Raiden, traded. Do you say Raiden or do you say Raiden?
Raiden.
I think they're spelled the same way, but
yeah, in America we have a class of child. They're the Aiden children, like Aiden, Braden, Caden, Raiden, and they're all like very, very, very behaviorally
it's the Kyles of the
it's Braxton. That has to be the worst one. I've never met a Braxton and gone, that guy's not acting like a Braxton. And I would say, no offense, but I think all the Braxtons are under 10 years old. They're not watching this.
I actually did. I knew a Braxton who was actually really cool growing up. He was actually
no one was
really cool.
named Braxton when we were growing up. Are you sure his name wasn't?
Yeah, I mean, well, it was a black guy. So that's probably why you didn't know them, because you live in Michigan, right?
And you're racist. The Scottish equivalent for that would be like a Levi. That's like become a really popular name for like certain type of
They name people after jeans over there?
I know, it's weird, right? Well, who do you think the guy who made the jeans is called?
Right?
Yeah, right.
It's
That's like, is that like the Pilates guy?
Story
that guy's
where,
name is Mr. Pilates.
Yes. Levi's a classic Bible story about Jesus feeling like he wasn't dripped up on the cross, and some poor man hands him a pair of Wranglers. And he goes, "Thank you, sir."
We're never getting through this story, man.
What happened with it? What happened to Raiden?
Yeah.
And that's when he went horseback across to the US of A. So Raiden, this kid, traded away his Dark Arm Dragon, a very expensive card at the time, for a bunch of Lightsworn cards. Maybe a super and a common? I don't even remember exactly what. To Krebons. Me and my friends started whispering about it, like, wow.
Sorry, he didn't trade 4 Krebons. He traded 2 Krebons.
Yeah,
right?
the character Krebons. Raiden
Yeah.
and Krebons
Okay,
are doing a
alright.
little trade here. Me and my friends started whispering about it, like, wow, what did he just do? Looking back, I feel pretty bad about not stepping in and saying something, but I was pretty young at the time and just not brave enough to do anything in front of the older dudes. Word quickly spread around the store, and a few minutes later, just out of nowhere, Goki Giant Ogre walks up to Krebons, a straight beeline for the dude, grabs him by the back of his shirt, spins him around, and slaps him with the power of a thunderbolt. You guys ever experienced violence at locals?
I mean, I've never experienced someone doing the slap off.
That noise rings in my head until today. I don't think I've experienced that loud of a bang into a pin drop silence ever. The store went completely dead, and Giant Ogre just sat back down and proceeded to duel or whatever it was, like nothing happened. I think at some point after, people started slowly talking and basically just pretended like nothing happened. Krebons and Giant Ogre eventually got asked to leave. I can't remember ever seeing them again after that, but it feels as though everyone who saw that happen that day were in a mutual agreement that Krebons got what he deserved.
So what are we supposed to decide?
Nothing, just...
It's a good story. Yeah, thank you. I will say, did the kid get the card back? Because I'm reading it, and it looks like the guy got away with ripping off a kid for $200, and all
For
it
one
cost him was
slap.
like
Would
a
you get
concussion.
slapped for $200? Isn't that like the start of Squid Game? I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
right.
Would you rather have
I
$1
don't know.
or $2?
If you had asked like 15-year-old me if I'd get slapped for a Dark Arm Dragon, I probably would have said yes.
How okay are you guys with crime? Joseph, we'll not ask you first. Doug, what's your
Dude, I remember the last time I was on Drama Time and people like they know me. I don't follow the street rules apparently because I don't think people are gonna like my answer for this. Should the kid have said something? Maybe, but I know exactly the situation he's talking about where you're like maybe in high school and the other people are in college or a little bit older than that. So no, he probably felt uncomfortable to stand up. But I don't think physical violence is ever the answer, and especially not in a locals like this. I mean,
Well,
I think the guy should have forced him to. I think the local community, especially if everyone's whispering, should have pressured the man to not. I mean, maybe this is a hot take. Obviously, you're not responsible for anyone else, but I think if you want a thriving locals community, you can't have like people knowingly scamming, younger kids. It's just gonna, eat itself, and then there's gonna be no people going to it. I think maybe.
I just want to quickly point out that Doug said, I don't think violence is ever the answer, and Joseph went, well.
I realize that you don't like standing up for the little guy, and you think the state monopoly on violence is good. I understand that.
State monopoly.
You've actually confided in me several times that you think the protesters should just be peaceful. So
Like,
I
this
understand.
is okay. Like, here's the thing, right? That guy, scumbag, didn't steal the cards, so he did just get assaulted at a locals. Like,
okay,
If you
the
put
other
it
thing
that
that's really
way.
funny is, did anyone ever tell the little kid that he got ripped off? Because I'm imagining the little kid like playing his next round after doing this trade and hearing like wham and going, dude, I just
Like,
traded that
wow.
guy.
I just traded him.
Hey, dude, are you all right? Why are you hitting my friend who just gave me the sick trade for these light swords I
Do you
wanted?
need another card?
I mean, I think
Oh
I
my
brought this
God.
up before. So I will say with Dark Arm Dragon, when I was at the Phantom Darkness sneak peek and I was a little kid, another little kid pulled a Dark Arm Dragon, and older kid, or I guess older man, tried to trade him basically nothing for it. And several people that didn't even know each other came together and said, do not trade that man for this value. That is not going to work. I will also say, as someone that's been the kid in that situation, I've said this story a million times, but I traded a $100 overdrive teleporter at the Crossroads of Chaos sneak peek for a bunch of Iron Chain cards. Honestly, even though it made no sense, I went home very happy with that. I think some people think about everything in terms
I
of
could have
value,
played
but
this
especially
better,
for
but
little kids, like
realistically, I
that
wasn't
kid might
winning
have been
here.
happy. Like, no, it wasn't right, but that kid might have been happy with those Lightsworn cards. Maybe he wouldn't have said, "Please slap that man for me."
Sometimes you have to save people from themselves, you know? Like, I get that.
Well, yeah, no, I think you should. I think, yeah, I don't think you should let kids get ripped off at your locals, but also, I don't know.
Well, from a moral perspective, not to, defend vigilantism or something, but in some way,
Is that what you're calling this?
Well, yeah, I mean, kind of a
The
vigilante.
guy didn't commit a crime. Even if he
It's
did,
also
you're not
like-
allowed to just assault.
Okay, but like,
It's so funny to be like Yu-Gi-Oh player content or Yu-Gi-Oh player conflict resolution, and they're like, well, shit, we could make him give the card back, but let's just start hitting him.
we don't know the context. Maybe he's done this before. Like, they said at the very end there, right? He got what he deserved. Like, maybe this is like a, regular occurrence for the thing. But on the topic of vigilantism, I don't, yeah, Doug, he didn't commit a crime, but like, what is a crime if not a article dictated to by the state, right? If I'm walking down a Walmart and I see a mom steal like some nappies or a formula, like, is that wrong? Technically. I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to mind my own business. So in this situation, if I saw that happen, it's like, well, I'm not going to like get involved, You did just scam a child. That's kind of how I see it from my perspective. Maybe I'm wrong for that. I don't know.
No, I think the version of this that makes sense is you make him undo the trade.
Yeah.
It's very funny that like it's like, yeah, dude, I really delivered justice to this guy, and you let the guy get away with scamming a kid and caught an assault charge.
Yeah,
Like
fuck around and find
nothing
out.
really was nothing was accomplished here except that guy assaulted. So, like, I think maybe if the trade was reversed or whatever, but like this is exactly, I don't know. He escalated the situation beyond what it was, and nothing got solved at all.
In my headcanon, I am choosing to believe that the trade was resolved before he left the shop.
No,
and was
dude,
banned.
no way. After
Well,
that
well,
the
it
store, they're
would
not
say
asking to
it.
get out binders and undo the trade. There's no way. No.
The store came together in a good Samaritan effort and crowdfunded the kid. A whole
Ripping
new
a kid off in a
Lightsworn
trade
deck.
is not illegal. It just means you're a bad person.
And I'm okay if you get slapped for that. I, Moyi, was in the 3rd grade in 2013 at the time. Living in a third world country with no cost-effective way of accessing legitimate cards, my only options were fake cards and fake mini cards. I've heard so many stories from like people who live in like the Middle East and people who like grew up in places that just didn't have like Yu-Gi-Oh cards in the same, or like real Yu-Gi-Oh cards, would just literally just play with fakes. People who like didn't read English would just literally just make up card effects based off of like what they saw on like the dubbed version of their anime. It's very
I
adorable.
mean, is that even that crazy? Like, that's how I
no,
played
not at all.
Pokemon cards at my school as a kid. None of us even had energy in our deck. We just kind of, make
I suppose
believe.
I'm the only one here who cares about the fucking rules.
One day, I wanted to get new cards after my originals got confiscated by my teacher, but I had no allowance or lunch money to sacrifice. So I took the equivalent of $30 from my mom's purse and bought new cards and other toys from a vendor near my school. Later on, my mom was on the phone with a friend explaining that the money to pay a bus driver to deliver flowers to our sick relative was gone, and she thought she had spent it on bills given the lack of funds in the household. I became guilty about it and started depositing coins into her purse to repay it.
Aw, that's sweet.
And after weeks, I did. However,
Nice.
2 days after buying the cards, my mom found them and threw them out anyway because they were demonic and not because she thought they were bought with the missing money.
Honestly, pretty funny resolution to this.
Yeah, hilarious. Yeah.
I feel like it started off so well. He
Wow.
was like paying back this like debt that he created. She would,
Christian
not be
Christian
illegal.
Karen's
I'm
at
sorry,
it again.
Her income is just slowly getting bigger. Like she's just
Well,
getting.
because
money
you
in her
wouldn't
purse.
notice a
didn't
couple
notice.
cents every, if you put 50
Yeah.
cents back in.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so funny. We get these a lot on WotC, actually. People who are like, I stole from my parents, and I still feel guilt about it. That's like the number one thing people love to still feel guilt about. And like, I understand that for sure. Like, I think that that's valid and valuable. I think for a lot of people, their parents probably didn't notice and it didn't impact their day-to-day life. which is why it's so funny in this story. There's like an immediate consequence, and it's the worst thing you could possibly imagine.
I think it was a good life lesson, though, right? Like,
At least it wasn't like insulin or something, you know, that would have been...
Oh, that would have been so funny.
Yeah.
What if someone died because you wanted
Because
a
of this.
pack of like IOC? What if your pulls were bad and then they
oh, okay,
died?
okay. With you saying that, I gotta admit something.
Oh.
I stole money from my mom to go buy a Yu-Gi-Oh box.
Like a whole ass booster box?
I
Nice.
stole about $120.
Jesus,
Oh
that's not
my
like change,
God.
dude. What?
Well, funny that you say that because I actually did grab it from rolls of quarters that we had saved up for a vacation budget. Anyway, really bad. I wanted to play Dark Worlds at regionals, so I was like, surely if I buy a box of elemental energy, I'll pull 3 silver and 2 or 3 gold plus the rainbow. All
of
the
course.
crappy cards that a kid would want to play. So I stole the money. I opened the box, I pulled 1 silver and no other Dark Worlds, and in that moment, I realized
Buy the singles?
stealing was wrong.
Oh, okay.
If your pulls had been better, you'd be in prison right now.
So it was like, not only did I steal the money, not only did my mom immediately figure it out, but also the polls sucked ass. So then I still went to the regional, and the entire time I was just thinking like, why did I do this, man?
Wait,
like, I
did
was
she
horrible.
did she
so-
catch you with this like before the regional?
Yeah.
She didn't like ground you to like not go to the regional after all? Like, or did she like hedge a bet and say, okay, you gotta go win back the prize
Look, man,
money?
there's a certain privilege for only children with
Yeah,
single
yeah, yeah.
moms. I don't know what to
That's-
tell you.
that's a good
Like,
point.
no, I wasn't grounded. Like,
Wow, that's unbelievable. I've never stolen money from my parents. What's your people's fucking problem? Oh
Yeah.
my God.
So I used to be obsessed when I was like 10 years old with Habbo Hotel. And if anyone knows anything about Habbo Hotel, for any of you older millennials out there,
You were on fucking You were decking yourself out like Marcellus Wallace. I know what your ass was doing on.
yeah,
Habbo
I
Hotel.
was buying Fernie, and I was doing trades and entering those like Fernie competitions and stuff like that. But basically, for those of you who don't know what Habbo Hotel is, it's basically this like virtual chat room where you create like an avatar, and you can make like a room, and you can put like furniture in it. That's what Fernie means. And the way you would get like the currency in order to buy these like basically microtransactions from Habbo Hotel was you would have like this phone line, and you would call in. It would go through like this automated thing, and you would like confirm, and it would basically bill your phone company for like $1.
I wasn't
per
very
call or
smart
something.
about
yeah.
this.
Over the course of like a month, I think I called like multiple times a day for like a whole month. So I ended up racking up a bill of like $50 or something from like Habbo Hotel. And I
Yeah.
remember my dad like showed me the telephone bill like a month later, and I had like quit and moved on by that point. Obviously.
Oh,
like,
no.
So he shows me the bill, and he's like, "Do you know what this is? This Habbo Hotel thing? I've seen you on it before." And I'm just like, I don't know, man. I don't actually know what I said or how the conversation went, but it was just one of those moments where it's like there was no punishment, there was no yelling. It was just like you just feel that disappointment, like that.
The punishment is knowing that you did something wrong. Like, I think kids joke about like, oh, it's not a punishment, if your parents disappointed in you. But like, I think if you have like a strong parent-child bond, it actually is a punishment to know that they look down on you.
Yeah, it's called empathy. So if you don't feel it, then that's some deep-rooted
That's
psychological
a you
problems.
problem. Yeah.
Dude, I just saw the bottom of this. Okay, what is happening?
I'm excited. I'm very excited.
A guy at our locals called Taya has had a crush on me for a while. He's closeted about the fact that he's gay, but I'm not. Everyone at my locals knows. Now please bear in mind too that Taya has autism and can struggle in some social situations. Not that I'm excusing this behavior, just to keep in mind for final judgments. Over time, he started making unwanted sexual advances towards me when no one was around, saying that I've got such a cute body, how my ass looked and stuff. I would either ignore the remarks or joke saying, "Is this what you say to get better trades?" Since I didn't know what to do in these situations, and I see the guy often at locals. There's no other locals around here either, so it's not like I could just go to a different local. And this happened when I'd see him outside of locals for months as we both went to the same uni. Over time, this seeped into the locals as well. When we're alone, he'd make these unwanted advances to me or comment on my appearance in a creepy way. And eventually I mustered up some courage and said I wasn't comfortable with this. And it was making me not want to go to locals. He apologized and immediately went on this sob story trying to make me feel bad about how a guy like me wouldn't want a guy like him. And always the bridesmaid, never the bridemaid type shit. And I couldn't anymore. I left, and I didn't come back for a while. I then returned having really wanted to play the game again post-AGOV format. I think this is the big issue here, right? Now I'm homophobic, okay? You came back for Snake Eyes. My round 2 opponent was him. I was willing to just soldier on and hope that he'd realize his behavior had changed, but the moment I sat down, he said, "It's been a while. I've missed seeing your smile." I couldn't. I got up, took my OTS pack, and left. Later, mine and Taya's mutual friend texted me after round 2 was over asking where I'd went, and I told him what'd been happening with Taya. Word spread over time, and soon Taya caught on that I told someone that he was gay. He got very upset, apparently, and said I had no business telling people his sexuality. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend to care. I don't feel bad for outing him to his friends. But I'm unsure if I could have done something different, like talk to the shop owner or a third party to intervene, not one of his friends who would spread that information. I only ever show up once in a while, and only on Saturdays when I know he has work. Am I the asshole for outing a clearly autistic guy for unwanted sexual advances? Yep, that is a crazy last line, actually.
I thought it was going to be like, you know, the thing they love to do in Am I the Assholes is the title is like, am I the asshole for killing my entire family? Then you read the body of the thing, and it's like, oh no, they meant something different. That's exactly what it says on the tin. Yeah, wow.
Isn't that what happened in Naruto?
Huh?
What? Oh yeah,
For
no,
being
it
gay?
is, yeah.
Oh,
He was
What did
posting,
the
on Reddit
autism
right
have
before
to
the
do
Leaf
with all
Village.
the sexual harassment?
Well, okay.
I mean, it does.
I will
kinda.
get it. You know, sexuality is, you know, it's a beautiful dance of courtship, and for someone who's bad at reading social cues, you know, maybe you don't catch on that they're not interested in you. Like maybe that's how it's relevant to the story.
Well, he said, "I'm not interested." I mean, eventually, maybe, but like this is I think this is like a tough situation to be in, right?
Yeah,
Because
it is. First off, I want to say very funny that I just want people who are straight to know, if you make the decision to become gay, because it is a choice, you don't escape those guys that are like, "Whoa, I can't get any pussy. You'd never want to fuck someone like me."
Just
Those guys are
replace
still
pussy
around.
with her penis, I guess.
You don't get to opt out of them. The like pathetic fuck me guys are still around. I don't know. I think this autistic man is being totally inappropriate. I think you're being more than direct enough when it comes to like rebuking his advances. I think it's fucking gross that he's like, "How could you out me?" It's like, because you're sexually harassing me when I go to locals.
incredibly
Only normal
manipulative.
speller traps?
it's
What
just
the fuck?
ridiculous.
How
Like
could you
holding
do
someone,
that to me?
hostage with these advances, and then going, "Oh, woe is me. It got out that I'm gay because I've been sexually harassing you for a year." Like,
Yeah,
what are we
no,
talking about, man? Maybe don't be a fucking sex pest. Like, Jesus
Pest.
Christ.
Imagine like having some guy creep on you so much that it turns you off going to locals, and you go back and he's like, "There's that smile I miss." I would be like the guy in the first story. I would do the god slap. That's insane.
The
dude.
Goki Ghost Ogre, yeah.
It is. I will say this is. I don't know if you guys have experienced situations like this, and and you guys that are watching as well, where I think a lot of people only have like one option for locals, and/or they have multiple options, but because it's the same area, the same people are going. And if you have like beef, or in this case, if someone's harassing you, and like it's not. You can't escalate it enough to the store because a lot of store people just don't care. Like, it is really uncomfortable because it's like, okay, do I just stop? Which it seems like what this guy did, which is really sad. But it's like, okay, I just stop participating in my hobby because someone's harassing me. And it's just like, that is not okay. I mean, let's remove, like, you can remove the sexuality in this story. You can remove the genders in this story. This is just sexual harassment. Like, it's not okay. And I feel bad that this person that wrote this story clearly felt like he was stuck between a rock and a like sexual abuser here. But like, it was just, I don't know. I feel really bad for this guy that wrote this. Hopefully he's doing better.
And I think the poster did pretty much everything right. I mean, I was shocked at, is this what you
Why
say
can't
is
I
dead
not
literature?
activate
It's what an
Carmyle?
incredible de-escalation maneuver. Like, really top tier shit. I was like, wow, yeah, that should have shut it down right there. And then I'm so sorry to hear this happen to you. This fucking sucks, dog. This is really bad.
Not to like defend that at all, but like from the perspective of someone who doesn't understand social cues and stuff, right? Like, there is a world where he like perceives that as reciprocal flirting, right? Like, do you not think he could have maybe seen it that way?
Well, I mean, I think that by the time he's like, "Hey, I'm being uncomfortable,"
Yeah.
like you can you can kind of take the hint.
Yeah,
there.
so that's what they did right? So they did say that, and they backed off, and then apparently, what happened? They like disbanded and never saw each other again.
They did
for,
not
like...
back off, going, "Oh man, I thought I."
That was when the stop. So it's like
Oh,
it's these creepy comments,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the
yeah.
poster is saying that they felt like unable to say something back, and I think a lot of people just kind of freeze up in that situation. It's never your fault for not having a witty response or an out that you want to do. I think a lot of people just don't know what to do in those situations, and that's perfectly fine. And then there's the guy says something, and the dude has this bullshit sob story to justify his harassment, and then he goes back to locals, and the guy is still pressuring him like. Put whoever wrote this, put that guy's name in that.
No, probably best to not do that. I think, definitely, I agree. Like, it sucks. I'm just wondering if, like, maybe after, like, a second, like, stern, like, comment to someone who clearly doesn't get it would have maybe helped, right? Just like, hey, this is the second time I am properly telling you, stop doing that. Like, I wonder if that would have been enough, right?
But it seemed, I mean, that, like, in some cases, I could see the perspective of that does potentially escalate the situation. And, this person seems like they wanted to de-escalate. I really, but I don't know. I think they just kind of froze up and didn't really know what to say. And we're just hoping the guy would take the hint eventually. And it just didn't happen. But absolutely zero excuse after the person said, I'm not even, like, please stop harassing me. Like, I'm not interested in you at all. Like, I think, yeah, you can't justify anything after that. Just incredibly creepy.
The biggest tip that I can give for anyone who, like, I mean, I guess
You're
it's
giving big tips out?
I guess it's like, it's, in your places of hobby and stuff, like, I mean, I guess, like, you're gonna meet people, and you're also gonna meet people you might have, like, love interests in, and I guess that's fine. But the biggest tip is, if someone, after you have tried to do, like, light flirting, does not reciprocate in any shape or form, that's when you can try and absorb it, like, okay, this is, like, this person isn't interested, and you can, like, take the initiative to stop. It's like, that's the number one clue. It's like, they don't do it back. And if you realize that after, like, a comment, then that's when you know that your job now is to cease and desist, right?
Yeah, like, this guy wasn't playing hard to get over the course of 6 months. Like,
I'm feeling Leah come into my body right now. I can feel the misandry coursing through my veins. Listen, men love to do this. It's the number one thing men love to do, is they love to make, like, a stupid flirty comment, and then, like, they get shut down immediately, and they're like, I'm just gonna have to think of a better comment next time.
No, it's like,
guess I'll have to kill myself,
It's like, oh wow, you know what? The problem was that it just wasn't sexual enough, actually.
Yeah, it wasn't
I
a good
should
enough riff.
triple down on this. That'll really get him to change his mind.
It's like you're standing in front of, like, a you've got, like, the what is it, the Da Vinci Code Codex, and you're trying every single combination of words to try and get into it. You're like 00001, nope, 00002, nope. But it's like, hey, nice legs, nice deck,
Nice legs, nice deck.
I will say, this is kind of like the I think a lot of our grandparents have similar stories with how they got with their
Dude, I love how many old people's story is like, yeah, I literally didn't leave her alone. I just didn't leave her alone.
Yep.
And one day she said, fine, I guess.
One day she said, this guy's going to kill me, or if I don't go to coffee on him. And then
okay,
she
but to
fell
be
in love
fair,
with me.
have you not heard stories like that where it's like, yeah, I said no to him like 9 times, and then eventually I said yes, and we've been married for 50 years? It's like, oh, well, I mean, I don't know, maybe...
You gotta stop. If you have one of those stories, you gotta stop telling people that shit.
Like, it's a good yeah.
So yeah, definitely, again, like I mentioned, big tip, like, just number one thing, reciprocation is the most important thing. If there's no reciprocation, it means stop. And on the more positive note, I've seen so many relationships blossom over the course of my 10 plus years playing this game, of people who did, like, end up being together through Yu-Gi-Oh! And stuff.
Yeah, you two are adorable. I think it's really turned out great.
Shut the fuck up. You think he's my type?
Yeah, thanks. What's crazy is that Farfa bottoms. You never would expect it.
Oh my god.
Can we start taking more dating columns? Let's just make this like Will of the Council, but for Yu-Gi-Oh! Players.
All right, well, thanks everyone for tuning in. This in your drama time. If you have any stories you want to send in, of course, anonymize all characters with Yuga card names, all locations with field spells. It's email in the description, farfawaijo@gmail.com. And you can submit your story. Please proofread it and stuff for, leaking things. That's the most important thing. And we may see you in a couple weeks. Hopefully we'll bring back Storage Wars at some point. People keep asking for that. That's the next collab.
Yes. When are we doing
Dude,
that
I'll play
again?
Storage Wars again.
Yep. All right, peace out. Bye-bye.
Oops. Why can I not activate this? Well, that guy goes back to my hand anyway, so... Wanna know if no, it won't work. Okay. I forgot this card's technically kinda useful for unbricking. Try not to brick. Great. Jesus Christ, I can't play with this hand. Now I can play with that. Whoa, that was a rat.